One of these sets of AirPods Pro is completely fake. I'm going to tell you how you can spot the real McCoy. Welcome everybody to AppleInsider. It is Andrew here, and right now, knockoff AirPods and AirPods Pro have been going crazy online. So whether you are buying from a website you haven't purchased before and you want to make sure you're actually getting AirPods, or you're buying from a secondhand store like Craigslist or eBay and you want to make sure you're not getting ripped off, here is how you can tell exactly what makes AirPods a real set of AirPods versus just a knockoff set. So I purchased these knockoff AirPods online and they showed up in a box like this, not even looking like AirPods. If you order AirPods or AirPods Pro and they show up looking like a completely different set of earbuds, it doesn't mean they sent you the wrong one. It means something shady is probably afoot. And when you open up this random outside packaging, you see we have our AirPods Pro box hiding on the inside. Now, looking at the box first, before we even get into the AirPods details, you're gonna notice a few different things. There's some bumps on the box, and it doesn't look as smooth as Apple's actual boxes do. There's just kind of some lumpiness going on. It's not as high-end as Apple's actual boxes. And we look inside, you can see the paper doesn't go all the way to the top. There's all this unfinished area in there and all these unfinished seams. That is a big red flag that this is not an actual case of AirPods. Moving forward through the box, they do have the little folder with all the paperwork you'd expect from a regular set of AirPods. The paper though is a little bit thinner, just a little more flimsy than what Apple actually uses. Then we have our little insert here. This is very un-Apple. It is super thin plastic. It just feels chintzy and cheap. Not what Apple is actually using inside of their AirPods or AirPods Pro boxes. Below that, we have our ear tips. These look pretty darn similar to the real thing. Then we have our lightning cable. Just a small little touches. Again, look at that cable. It's not laying flush in there. You think an actual set of AirPods would come with a cable that looks like it was repackaged, and the ends are already starting to look like they're yellowing. This is not a real lightning cable inside of a real AirPods Pro box. One thing many users suggest is double checking the serial number of the AirPods Pro and comparing them to what's on the box. Unfortunately, they spoof and mass produce these. So yes, if you look inside of the lid and you look at the actual box, the serial numbers will match, but that does not mean it's a real set of AirPods. Okay, here they are, the two sets of AirPods Pro. Can you tell any differences yet? Let's get a little closer to camera. Both of these are incredibly spot on. I mean, they look very similar to one another, and it's gonna be very hard to tell the difference, but there are some subtle differences. Let's go ahead and examine them a little closer. First up, on the back, these little buttons here. Apple's button is perfectly flush. So flush you can't even feel that there's a button there. This button though, it sticks out just a bit, sticks just a little bit up from that back panel, creating not a flush surface. You can even see a little bit when the light catches it. You can feel this button. Apple's is much more tight, has tighter tolerances. You also notice that printing on the back. This is a thing that we're going to see in multiple places on these AirPods. The printing on the fake AirPods Pro is a little bit darker. See, Apple's font is just a little bit lighter, a lighter gray. If we open these up, you'll see that font as well inside of the lid. There's the printing right there on the inside of each of those. You can already see how much darker it is on those fake AirPods than the real ones. It just sticks out quite a bit more. And if we take a look at one of the actual AirPods from the real and the fake, we have printing underneath each of the earbuds. And once more, you can see how dark it is on that fake AirPod versus the real one. You can almost barely even see it on the real AirPod Pro, but it sticks out so much on the fake model. Other differences on the actual earbuds, the silicone tips, they are harder on the fake AirPod. It's not as soft as the silicone as Apple is using. It's just a bit stiffer, bit lower quality. We also have this little cap on the bottom of the AirPods. I can't even capture this really on camera, but the knockoff one, there's a little bit of a seam. Like it actually has like a rough edge where it's been unfinished. I don't even know if I can try to zoom in as much as I can, but it is so tiny, but there's just a rough edge for where it came out of the mold Apple doesn't have any rough edges around theirs. It's of course very smooth. So just unfinished edges around these bottom caps that are near where the battery contacts are located. Okay, we've looked at the box, we've looked at the hardware. Now let's go ahead and look at the software differences between the real AirPods Pro and these fake ones. With real AirPods, when you open them next to your phone, a modal will appear giving you battery life. They'll show up in Control Center, and you can do a lot within iOS. Unfortunately, most of these features have already been spoofed by the knockoffs. If we open these AirPods next to our iPhone, you'll see we have an automatic card that appears here at the bottom, allowing me to pair them. I've already kind of tried to set these up before removing them, so we're going to go ahead and hit connect, and it's going to tell me to hold the button on the back of my fake AirPods Pro. Again, these are all the fake AirPods Pro, and they're able to mimic almost all of this here natively in iOS. It's pretty incredible, and it makes it really hard to tell which one of these is real and which one's fake. You can see it'll walk us through the basic setup, such as media controls, but we're going to go ahead and skip that, and you can see here we have our case, we have our AirPods, all of our battery life. This looks very real. This looks so real, but these are fake AirPods Pro. So currently, the fake AirPods Pro are in my ear, and you can see they show up here inside Control Center. We're playing our music, connected to AirPods. We can see the AirPods Pro icon on our media control, volume dial, and you can see we're listening in stereo. But if I open up noise control, here's a bit of a difference between these and the real AirPods Pro. If I try to switch, I'm not hearing any difference in my ears. There's no difference between transparency, noise cancellation, and it doesn't even really switch around. It just maybe kind of switches it here in the app, but I'm not having any actual noise cancellation. It's not doing it. It is not able to actually use noise cancellation or transparency mode. The thing is though, that doesn't seem like it's that hard to change. I mean, why couldn't these inexpensive AirPods Pro knockoff add noise cancellation? Chances are they probably just did it because it was cheaper not to. But if they were trying to really clone AirPods Pro, they could probably put in a version of ANC and transparency mode into these earbuds. But right now, that's one difference that I was easily able to find between the fake ones and the real ones. If you can, when you get a set of AirPods Pro, try them out for yourself and see if they do switch between those different modes. But be aware that that's not always going to be a fail-safe way to tell the difference between real and fake Apple earbuds. If we go into settings, you can see we're connected to my AirPods Pro 2, the fake ones. If I hit information, you can see I have the name, noise control, my controls, physical controls by pressing and holding with the left and the right. We have the ear tip fit test. We have automatic ear detection. We have spatial audio. We have all of the settings that you would normally see. We also have a serial number. That serial number does not match what is on the box or what's printed inside of the lid of these AirPods. That is a different serial number. You'll also notice how it says coverage expired. If these are brand new AirPods, they should not have coverage expired. But you can check the coverage here, and you can check this on Apple's website to see as well if these have real AirPods coverage. So they are using real serial numbers, spoofed serial numbers. So just because you check this on Apple's website does not mean it's real. Just because it pops up on your iPhone like a real AirPods case does not mean it's real. There are very few ways to tell with certainty that these are fake or real. Because so many of these details are so minuscule, unless you have another set of AirPods or AirPods Pro right next to you when you're inspecting them, it can be near impossible to tell whether or not you have a knockoff counterfeit set of AirPods or the real deal. Really, the only way to make sure that you are getting real AirPods is if you trust where you're buying them from, whether it's the friend that you're buying them off of or the website. You should only buy AirPods from Apple or authorized Apple resellers. If you are looking for a set of AirPods, we have been scouring the internet for the best deals, and we update our price guide daily on AirPods and AirPods Pro. So go check out those at the link down below in the description and stay safe out there and don't get taken advantage of.